sortie AJS is bringing to the table here is putting enough pressure on, get some damage in, but there's nothing. Everyone's at kill percent, and AJS is going to be done so. He's done. He's gone.
Yeah, he hasn't really been able to get that offstage game. You know, he's so known for. I don't know if maybe he's scared of the Pikmin, maybe it's just an out of practice thing. And there's the purple Pikmin spike. Bullshit. Like a Randall style of lucky bullshit.
Sure. It's acceptable. I approve. This is Albino Joe approved bullshit.
Alright.
Oh, the purple!
Oh, the snipe!
Wow.
Damn.
Cax, my boy, taking this game very... Reaver has got to make a mad run back, otherwise Cax is going to go into the next week 2-0, and he does.
Well, that one was a little more decisive. I think Reaver may need to renegotiate the Marth deal that he made.
Welcome again to another episode of the Baddy Cafe for Season 2. This is Chai.
I'm Albino Joe. What's going on, Chai? What are we looking at this week?
We're looking at a really good week. I am so happy to have watched. You know, I knew I was excited going into the season, being able to watch again and just be part of the Baddy Smash community. But man, week 1 was really fun. And we're gonna get into it in a little bit. But you know who's probably really having fun, Joe?
Tell me.
Our player of the week. We have Cax, who we didn't know if his internet was going to be the death of him this season, but he can finally play. And boy, taking down this is AJS 0 real handily, and also giving the business to Head Reaver. That's a good standout performance to start off the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, in addition to, you know, we meme on his internet going out all the time, but just in addition to that, it looks like he's just cleaned up his game a little bit in the offseason. In the games where he wasn't lagging and was able to play, he looked a little bit worse off back in Season 4, but this Season 5 Cax has evolved quite a bit, and that Olimar is scary.
It's a hard thing for people, too, to handle, because, of course, you know, we've seen some new characters this week, some new faces show up, but Olimar is a whole different experience. You know, if you've played against a sword user, you kind of know what to expect. If you played against a character who kind of camps you out, you know what to expect. Olimar, you need to know how to get the Pikmin off of you. You need to know how to handle his pressure. You need to know what all of his Pikmin do. That's going to be a scary thing, and people are going to have to figure out that matchup before they go into having to play against him.
Yeah, so, I mean, as we saw last week, he's going 2-0 into the next week, and it looks like he is playing Wang. Yeah, I mean, do you want me to go into what that matchup might be like?
I don't know what it might be like. I think Wang beat him last year, but I do not see the same results happening again.
Yeah, I mean, if those Pikmin can go over a roller, Wang's in a lot of trouble. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, and to go deep in, that was one of the players that really impressed us. But let's just take a look at all the games we watched this season for the first week. And let's see, we're going to do a real quick, and in a new segment we're calling JV3. You either get 3 points or 30 seconds to discuss what you think about each match. So I am going to start off first, Joey. And if you have any question, comments you want to make, because you did way more effort on recording, under the table stuff here. Each of us are only supposed to do half of this. But if everyone gives Joe shit, he's a hard worker. He actually went and looked at all the matches. I only did half.
I mean, 2x speed makes this pretty simple to do, to be honest, Chai. You're giving me too much credit.
All right, let's go look at this first match, Zed versus Salvo. This one, we didn't see much. As Baddy tradition, although we started on time, first match we had technical difficulty and were disconnected from the stream. According to my sources, though, Salvo destroyed Zed Sephiroth in game run. However, Zed responded by setting a personal best speed run for the earliest in the season that you had to watch a hero match. Salvo only lost 2 stocks, and they both played games on Mario Maker. I think this is the type of game you want to start your season on.
Oh yeah.
Next on the list, we had at 7:15 Ooga Booga versus Huckleton. And I gotta say, this is is this a link to the future? We had although we had a second new character with Ooga Booga playing Enderman, and we had our first 2 games on the new stages, which were Northern Cave and Spring Stadium. Huckleton showed a ton of patience and chipped away at throughout the stock, and Ooga Booga was playing Steve for the first game, so it was just a war of attrition, and Huckleton hang on. He definitely kept his poise as game 2, going against his K rule, where he fell down a stock and 100%, and still brought it back because Ooga Booga gave us the first self-death of this season, in a set that was the first one of 2 to go to game 3.
Hell yeah.
Any comments?
Oh yeah. The comments on that game, man. Spring Stadium, Game 3, Spring Stadium really gave Huckleton a bit of a curse, as Ooga Booga was able to get a couple of head bonk saves, but it didn't really stop Huckleton from getting the crunching out the win in that. That's the only extra thing I got in there.
All right, game 3, we had Lars versus Velk. And in this game, we had some thirsty boys. Swift went for a beverage before the game started, and Velk went for a lot of greedy, laggy moves and got punished a lot for it. He started to regain some composure at the end of game 2 with Young Link, but at that point in time, if you're playing against Bowser, you're down 2 stocks. You're not having a good time. That's a rough place you're going to be at, and Bowser bringing in a ton of heat, both literally and figuratively, and displaying that the Bowser is real, and maybe, unfortunately for our boy KK, that the DK crew is no more. Lastly, in chat, I want to give a shout out to Jim, who finally spelled homie stock for the first time correctly. It is not homie stock, he spelled it homie.
Oh yeah, Jim.
Any comments, Joe?
Oh, sounds good to me, man. I mean, 2 3 stocks out of Lars, man. Valk,
No, Lars did lose a stock in game 2 at the very end. Is it JV3?
Got it. Well, still, Lars is looking dominating going into this coming week here.
All right. Next up, we have Tuna Sub versus Blaze. And did we see a tuna can of whoop ass? Now, mind you, right away, Tuna Sub did lose 2-0. This is Blaze. He's very good. But we have Baddy Bets now, which is awesome because it's now in stream, and people can talk about it a lot more. Almost no one bet on Tuna Sub. Almost no one. There are so many points put on Blaze's shoulders. And this is way closer than any of the bettors might have guessed, including myself. Tuna Sub showed up much more varied neutral, and compared to previous seasons, you lose a lot of lasers, grab, mix-up, and safer options. You know, people say, "Oh, it was I went 0-2, but it was close." I mean, it's a classic meme of getting bodied at tournaments, but I mean, these were legitimately close games, at least for the first one. But Blaze showed a lot of composure and did not get frazzled at all by having a closer game against Tuna than expected. What are your thoughts on that one?
Oh yeah. I mean, I agree, man. Guys, don't sleep on Tuna. Like something happened. Like either his place jive with Blaze's knowledge of the game, or he practiced like hell over the course of the off season. His performance really impressed me. That he could hang like that in a match against Blaze. So that's don't sleep on him, guys. He's coming through.
All right. After that, we had Wang versus Extra Fluffy. Extra Fluffy, welcome to Baddy League. Wang got 25 rollers landed over 2 games, and being hit over and over again by roller is Extra. It's a rite of passage. It's gonna happen. It's how we welcome new players.
It's
welcome
hazing,
aboard, Fluffy.
man. It's straight up just hazing into the Baddy League. If you haven't tanked at least 10 of Wang's rollers in like a series, you're not allowed back.
I mean, Extra Fluffy, he showed a lot of fight. He had some nasty PK freezes, and he had a bunch of hard smash reads, especially near ledge. But as extra experience. A tip for all of those who, if you've not heard this yet, if you have to play against Wang, if you hold shield, the big rolling man cannot hurt you. You get plenty of time to hold shield and then up smash. If you hold shield, you can also up special. And if you hold shield, you can also do an aerial out of your shield to retaliate. The big roly boly will not hurt you if you hold shield.
Yes, sir. I mean, another thing to add to that, I'll give Fluffy some Johns here. His Wavebird died in game 1, as you saw, so they had to remake. So unfortunately, he's playing on some shitty Mad Catz controller, which led him to play suboptimally. That's I'll give him the Johns for that.
That's a
That's
John.
okay.
Okay. Man's got a Wavebird though. That's some respect right there. That's a classic. I don't
Something
even know
like
where you can
that.
find those anymore.
I don't know what he's got, but it's got to be a Wavebird. I don't know.
All right. Lastly on my block, we had Afghan Bob versus Hard Kills. And there's some hardly killed moments here. Hard Kills was boxed out for the majority of the game by Afghan Bob. He's only able to grab 1 stock in 2 games. This was the biggest, arguably the biggest bodying next to Lars and Valk tonight. Hard Kills, SDs, 3 out of 6 stocks, which it's Baddy League. We're going to have some SDs, but in this kind of game, Hard Kills, don't be too hard on yourself. It's a lot of people get stage fright on their first stream match. SDs are going to razzle you a lot. And Palu is a nightmare matchup for Ganon, and that just doesn't make anything better. I think Hard Kills can rebound from this set, learn from it. But on the flip side, Afghan Bob out of seemingly nowhere. This is a man that didn't exit out of Swiss in Season 3. He was right on the cusp. He looked far better than his previous season he competed, and looked like a real threat in Division 2 with some maybe some inspiration from Albino Joe, but some galaxy brain counters with the 4th one ending the entire set.
Yeah, man. He was able to get some spacing going on. Helped him out quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, the story of the matchup was Hard Kills' SDs, and as a dwarf, spacing and off the stage kind of play is, once you get that down, he becomes a huge threat in the game. So I see you out there, Hard Kills. You got this.
All right, Joe, you did all of the sets, but I only did half. You want to bring us about the other half of the sets this week?
Yes, sir. The match last week that I brought up that I was really excited to get into and see was Cax versus AJS, because the story, we had the double story going on of, hey, is Cax's internet good? It sure as shit was good. That was a seamless match for him for sure. And the second topic was, how much did AJS practice in the off season, or if any of his prior skill from Smash Season 4 carried into this season, which you didn't see a lot of it, unfortunately. Cax's Pikmin, his Olimar, I don't know anything about Olimar. I don't know if it's RNG based, how he pulls that his crap up. But Purple Pikmin really decided a couple of kills, it seems.
Yeah. There is an order, by the way. It's a set order. And he definitely fishes to have certain setups. If you see 2 purples and a blue, or 2 purples and a white, that is a nightmare setup. On the Almar Discord, one of the nicknames they have for the purple is Monique, because it's big, sassy, and it hurts. But yeah, he had some snipes, some hard smashes with the purple Pikmin, and it's happy to see him start his season this way. I worked with him a lot last season to try to get his internet to work. We did so much different types of tests and whatnot, and it was a lot of heartbreak for him to have to go out with his season ending realistically on mainly just technical difficulties. So I'm really happy to have seen him perform so well this week.
Yeah, man. I mean, player of the week, and this game really showcased a lot of his skills. Once AJS was like above 50% on each stock, he was Cax just kept him zoned. Like he was able to just get away from, the sortie trying to chase him down. Those Pikmin were just constantly doing so much damage. Some of the first stock in game 2, I think it was an absolute nightmare for AJS. It could be the Cax's other game that I'm thinking of, but either way, good gameplay out of him. And Chai, do you have anything you want to add that you would want to add to this?
Nah, we're good. Audience at home, ignore what I said by 30 seconds or 3 points. Let us know if you'd like to see it shorter, but right now it is not that case.
Yeah, it's not. I can speed read, man. I can go hard on this if you want, Chai.
Nah, that's good. We'll do a regular read. We'll ask, you listeners out there, type in the YouTube comments if you'd rather see this segment shortened and actually set to 30 seconds or 3 points, or if you like the commentary for the distance we have. Joel, let's get on to the next match.
All right, Head Reaver versus Otterbotter, and this was the first full game debut of Sephiroth. Zed was playing him in game one, but unfortunately we didn't get to see that whole game. But neutral was scary. As soon as she was able to be on the stage, Sephiroth really does a good job of keeping neutral, keep zoning. But as soon as she's hit off the stage, things go sideways. I mean, Sephiroth is a pretty light character. So Reaver played Fox. His first selection of the night, which led for a very close game where Reaver closed out with 120% on his last stock. So Otter really came out swinging and gave Reaver, who honestly is kind of a favorite in Division II, a run for his money. That was really impressive out of her. And game two was a little bit of a different story. Otter did still have decent neutral, but the huge difference was that Reaver played Marth and never really gave it to her. There's one little glimpse of hope that Otter had in, I think it was the middle of stock 1 or 2, that she was able to kind of keep the stage a little bit, but not, and that was it. Reaver was able to close out with a 3-stock win, and Otter goes into week 2 with an 0-1 record. Chai, what you got? Do you got anything for that matchup?
Despite the 3-stock, I think I'm on point with you, is that Otter looked as another player from previous seasons who had not done that well, but looked remarkably promising in their first week. As I definitely agree, when Otter had neutral, and it's definitely easier to hold against Fox because you can just space him out so much more with that big disjoint, and Fox does not have one of those. She looked great. Marth, big sword, good airspeed, harder to get out from, easier to get juggle as Sephiroth, which is a big problem that the character has. But Otterbotter's showing some promise, and I can't wait to see what she brings out in week 2.
Oh yeah. But yeah, then after that, we got to see Salvo versus Huckletune, which Salvo's Luigi. We saw it in the matchup versus Zed, but that got a little memey. Zed kind of counted himself out early in the season, it seems. But Huckletune definitely wanted that W, and he was fighting tooth and nail for it. And the name of that game was Salvo trying to get up close and personal with the Luigi strings, and Huckletune trying his best to kind of get back to neutral, do a little bit of zoning attempts, engage on his terms and not Salvo's. And it didn't end well for him, as Salvo was able to get a misfire in game 1 to close out the win. And then Huckletune picks Spring Stadium in game 2, which really backfired. It seems it's a reoccurring theme. It was a reoccurring theme that night that whenever someone picks Spring Stadium, their opponent would get at least 1 or 2 clutch saves off the top. And that was no different for Salvo, as he saved twice from the ceiling and then was once again able to close out the last stock with a misfire. So Salvo went 2-0, Huckletune went 1-1 going into this next week of the season. And yeah, Salvo goes in Salvo fashion, man. What do you think about that, Chai?
I just want everyone to know that there's a myth, maybe even a conspiracy. I think Luigi luck is a real thing. I think Luigi mains when playing Luigi are there's a 1 in 8 chance of a misfire. No, not when you're a Luigi player. That's a different story. It's not fair. And
it's not.
If it gets you a W, it gets you a W. Congratulations, Salvo. You got 2-0, and you only need 1 more win to get into the next Swiss.
Oh yeah. So that was and that was the first 1-1 game that was to be determined as of the night that was played. So congrats to them for getting out into week 2 with a win. But then the next matchup was Blaze versus Lars, and this was a very interesting game. We all know Bowser is really, really heavy and is really hard to kill. But we also know that Incineroar, Blaze's Incineroar, also has a lot of kill confirms with his side Bs and smashes, and some of his aerials can even kill. But Lars was pretty competitive throughout. He was able, after Blaze in the first game, after Blaze was able to come out really, really strong, Lars was able to kind of answer well enough to bring the whole game to a stock apiece. However, within a few really close trades after the start of those last stocks, or the last stock, I should say, Blaze was able to close out with a throw off the top, and I think Lars was at like 180 or something stupid high like that. So yeah, it was just kind of the game of how much punishment can Bowser take before he dies, and game 2 is kind of more of the same. Lars was able to pick mementos to get those off the top kills with his throw, but he still got grabbed into submission again by Blaze's Incineroar. So the wrestling match really went in favor of the Pokemon wrestler, and Blaze goes 2-0 into the next week. Lars goes 1-1. Chai, what do you got to say?
I'm happy that of the two players that play heavies got to play against each other in the 1-1 matches. You gotta love a fat guy fight. You gotta love the big bodies swinging at it. It's some of the best stuff that Baddy League has to offer, and it's because, as you mentioned before, it may look ugly, but a few smashes here and there, maybe an edge guard, and you have an even match. So I thought it was a lot of fun to see them just swinging at each other, and I can definitely see both of these players doing well in the next stage of Swiss.
Oh yeah. And then next game after that, Wang versus Afghan Bob. And this is a matchup that I'm very familiar with in terms of characters. Wang's Inkling versus Bob's Palutena. And it was brutal at the start, but Afghan Bob tried really hard to slow down the game and space it out a little bit and start playing on his terms, as Wang was always up close and personal with the roller, trying to get some smashes off the top. But that game 1 really didn't end well for Afghan Bob, which led to a game 2 and eventually game 3. So game 2, Afghan Bob picked Pit, who really gave him some easy kill confirm options on Inkling specifically. Pit's actually a really, really good pick against Inkling, as his side B is a kill confirm and goes through the roller. So not Inkling in general, but Wang's Inkling specifically. So the high percentages that we saw in game 1 that Wang was able to live with, he did not live with as easily in game 2. So Afghan Bob took the win on that, but game 3, Wang was able to, he picked small battlefield, which those platforms somehow gave him the advantage. And Wang was able to close out with a victory. So Wang's going to go 2-0. Afghan Bob go 1-1 into week 2.
Yeah. That's actually the final piece of the puzzle for all of the new stages added this season. The last one was Small Battlefield to be played. I was surprised too. I thought that Small Battlefield was a good counter pick for Afghan Bob, but Wang, one of those legacy players, I'm sure he's really confident in game 3s and he's able to pull it out.
Oh yeah, and something else to note, Zed had a birthday or something, was a dickhead, and I don't know what happened there. But anyway, we got Cax versus Reaver. The match that closed out the night. Reaver picks his third character of the night, Zelda, which was able to look competitive against Cax's Olimar. However, as the game went on, Cax was able to pretty much optimize spacing and get the victory over Zelda. It was weird because Zelda does have a lot of tools to zone, but Cax was winning that zoning game. Cax eventually got the download, got the win against Zelda. So Reaver then went back to Marth and went to Spring Stadium. Third time we saw that map for the night, I believe, third or fourth. Where it was the third time. For the third time over the course of the night, showed to primarily benefit opponents, where Cax was able to clutch out a win, and I think he got some techs off the top in that game. And he was able to win out 2-0. Reaver goes 1-1.
Yeah, let it be known. Maybe Spring Stadium's going to take WarioWare as a run for its money as the worst counterpick stage you can possibly choose. But yeah, Cac's doing really well. One small tip I'll give you from matchup experience against Almar that I did not see Reaver abuse, and I'm really willing to believe that he just did not know. Alamar's smash attacks are projectiles and can be reflected.
Ooh,
So if you have a reflector, that is the play.
good to know.
All right. Looking at that then, over this week, we have some changes in our power rankings. Of the four, we have a new number 1. I have Cax. If I were to look at all the players this week, not overall, not their history in Baddy League, but for this week, I have Cax number 1 at the top of Division 2. I think he earned it. He did not play against any cupcakes. He had some legitimate competition he played against, and he showed why the internet was holding him back, and now he's actually showing his true power.
I agree.
We have 3 high jumpers as well. We have Salvo, not very happy that I placed him at 14th to begin the season. Now at 9th. He is right underneath Cax for that top spot at Division 2. Afghan, and then we have 2 players who we didn't really know how they would rank going up into the season. But Afghan Bob moves up 5 places at 15th, and I have Otter Botter at 17th, moving up 5 spaces as well. On the flip side, though, Ooga Booga, I had a lot of confidence in him seeing in previous seasons, but this is why having previous seasons bias ranking is maybe not the best idea. I have Ooga Booga dropping 6 spots from 12th to 18th. And we have a trifecta of people dropping 4 spaces. Head Reaver, AGS0, and Birthday Boy Zed dropped 4 places in my power rankings. Head Reaver no longer the number 1 player in Division 2. Any disagreements? What do you think, Joe?
Hell yeah, man. No, I mean, you know, it's still early in the season. It's hard to play some of these people in Division 2. We don't know how much they've practiced in the off season. We don't know how much skills carrying over. I think you nailed it. There's not much I would change.
As you're saying, this is all subject to change. We have another week that'll decide, or no, it's either 1 or 2 weeks that decide the fate of Division 2. And we'll see how this changes. But for right now, what you see on screen, this is my current power rankings of Division 2. Up next, we have an interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Salvo, the wild Luigi, the king of chaos himself, coming in soon. Welcome to the first interview of the Baddy Cafe Season 2, Episode 2. Today we have with us perhaps one of the biggest examples of a Pandora's Box player you could ever ask for. Joey and I are here today with Salvo. Welcome aboard, Salvo.
Thanks.
How you doing, man? You came off of last week with a 2-0 record. Who's the other person who had a 2-0 record?
We have Pax, Blaze, and one other person. Look at this fantastic production, folks. We always know our stuff.
Yeah, well, we're just getting into the swing of things. It was Wang?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course it was Wang. Well, hot damn. Well, Salvo, how does it feel being a part of the 2-0 club going into into this coming week here?
Well, I had a lot of confidence coming in, so I assumed I was going to go 2-0. But in the back of my head, I just figured I was going to fuck it up somehow.
What?
I mean,
how?
You've seen me play. It's a dice roll.
Yeah, that fucking Luigi. Yeah, but you're getting more consistent with those combos, man. Like, Luigi is honestly, I'm going to take one of our questions and formulate it as just a statement. Your Lucas was not an organized chaos thriving styled character. Luigi, on the other hand, getting misfires at the fucking weirdest times and getting those like aerial combos to practically 0 to death people. I mean, you can pull those off occasionally. That Luigi's your dude. And I want to know why. How long did it take you to figure that out? And when was like the moment that you're just like, yep, Luigi's my new main. I'm giving up Lucas. Screw this.
Well, once I found out about his down taunt, I had to learn it.
Spitting facts. It's not a bad reason at all.
It's
I
the
love
most
it.
satisfying way to just body somebody and ruin their life.
I think you got what, 4 last season?
Okay.
All right, I know I saw
take your
one.
word
I
for
saw
it.
one live. I saw one live on Simple, and that was a rough go.
Yeah, I know there was some, but
Yeah. Well, something that does stand out that Luigi playstyle you have, and Joey kind of explained it in a succinct way. It's organized chaos. As you know, you sometimes will just run up to someone and charge side being neutral, and you'll get a misfire, and everyone would think that's a really dumb, unsafe option, and then they die. Um, is there a mindset that's going behind these wacky, it's not safe, but I make them safe plays that bamboozle a lot of us, and you just make them work so brilliantly? Or is it really just as simple as, fuck it and chuck it?
pretty much fuck it and chuck it.
Chucks
Every
it
time
pretty-
I hold that side B, it's just I mean, what if? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, well.
You played the lottery, Salvo, because you're a luckier man than most Luigis, it seems.
I mean, it comes and goes. Definitely my offline luck is way higher, though.
Offline luck is higher.
Yeah, I hit a misfire every, like, 2 side Bs.
I guess I'm thinking back at the Swain summits, and yeah, like your gameplay then was I mean, you were kind of more focused on Lucas, I think, back then too, but yeah, that's just your style, and you really pull it off. Did you do like any like labbing or work in the off season, or did you kind of just like come back in cold like some of us have?
I don't know that I ever really stopped during the off season. I just kept trying to do the combo, still failing at it, but getting enough.
I mean, even if it's not a death combo, we frequently saw you on stream grab and get someone to 45, which is a very good start to a match.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now, I looked into the Baddy archives, and I saw you playing League of Legends and another particular wacky, either both character, position, and just the way you played him. Sion mid in League of Legends kind of makes me think this is the guy that would play Luigi this kind of way. Are those the kind of, you playing outside the box or playing a little wild, not that close to the vest? Is that just something you do in all the competitive games you play?
More or less, I guess, yeah. I always want to get to that satisfying victory. I think that's just what Luigi is for me.
I think that's what Luigi is for you.
There's nothing more satisfying than landing that up B and hearing that sound.
Oh man, so do you kind of, it's weird. Luigi has like both sides of that, where he has the hard combo. Again, Luigi is one of the characters that you can do a true combo to 0 to death pretty much. But the other half is kind of those satisfying down taunt kills, up B, kills that just they're gonna die as soon as it hits and it freezes the frame. The misfires, those very satisfying, just kapow like hits on those people. So, would you say Luigi, as your personality kind of bleeds into gaming in general, would you say that Luigi kind of represents what you look for in games?
Yeah, everybody wants that potential dice roll to crit, right?
And then when you hit it,
Yeah, like just knowing that even when I'm super behind, I absolutely messed up. I could crit.
Yeah, and that's a free W. You take those.
oh yeah.
All right. Last thing from me is Salvo. So right now you're coming in with a 2-0 record going into next week, and you're one way from advancing if you can beat Blaze or anyone else afterwards. But when you're playing against some of these higher level players, such as Blaze or some of the people that are at the top of D2 right now, does your playstyle get safer when playing against some of the best competition in Baddy League, or do you kind of try to keep it consistently chaotic?
Constant chaos all the time.
You love to hear it.
Playing
Oh,
safe does not get you the W.
oh man. Well, hey, my last question. So I'm mentally, after watching your performance last week, I'm putting you in kind of a new category. There's a lot of unknowns going into the season of how players like AJS, Tuna Sub, Huckletune, Valk, a bunch of these guys, how much work did they put in the off season? If they're bringing anything new and fresh to this season, or if they're gonna, not switch mains and stay on their own character and kind of bring more of the same. And Salvo, you kind of showed, at least I think a majority of us, that you have what it takes to be in the top 8. So thinking on that line of, with that line of thinking, is there anyone, in particular in kind of that lower Division 1, higher Division 2 that you're afraid of? Do you even think about that? Do you think of like the people around you, who you're playing and their play styles? Or do you just kind of go in with the same mindset every time of just like, hey, I'm going to do Luigi things and hopefully going to get the W in this?
For the most part, I go in the same mindset every time. Just believe you're gonna win. But then I saw that KK montage, and dude, I'm
That
scared of
was
every
sick.
bit of that.
Oh man, that was a sick montage. That was yeah. Yeah, seeing some of the things he does to people, man, it's he's gonna be in, yeah, he's
He's a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem.
If you want to check it out, it's in the Baddy Smash Discord under Baddy Content Creation. But hey, Salvo, you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you for being on. We do have, for all our guests, that 1 minute where you can say anything to the league. You want to shout out someone, call someone out, tell the league a little more about you. This is your soapbox. What you want to say?
To fucking get good.
You heard him. You heard it here first. Get good. If you're taking offense to this, you know who you are.
Oh, whoa, that's great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that was the Salvo interview. Watch out for the green hat. Green Mario's coming to get you.
Welcome back after that fantastic interview with Salvo, a soft-spoken man, not a man of many words, but a man of many dimensions. Up next, we have one of our favorite segments. We have the good, the bad, and the baddie.
Yes, sir. What
Albino
you
Joe,
got?
Here's what was great this week. And
Yeah.
it's what I would call I hinted at it before, but this was the best addition, I think, to Baddy Smash League since Swiss Bracket. And that is Baddy Bets in the Twitch app or Twitch website.
Yeah, man, that widget is sick. That makes the production work on doing that so much simpler. Streamers just got to type in some stuff and boom, it's up, and then your baddie coin, bait coin, whatever you want to call it, is actually meaningful. You can use those channel points for whatever you want.
Yeah, if you get
Great.
69 million points, you can ban a player. How was that?
Is it possible to get that high?
Mathematically, yes. We'll see, though.
Oh, no.
Not only that, though, but Baddy Bets was just on games. But now we have the options of it to be anything, whether it be does Wang average 10 rollers a game, or does the stream start on time, which I think there was collusion on that bet, but you didn't hear it from me.
No, there's no collusion.
And there's just so much diversity you can add with the bets, and it makes it a fun audience experience. Chat was popping off watching Wang rollers, and I don't think that's ever happened before, is chat popping off and watching a man use the same move 20 sometimes in a set.
Spam brings people together, man. Just how it works.
That is what was great this week, but here's what was bad. As is baddie tradition as well, we got the baddie bets, we got Swiss, all these things are great. What's not great, and what's frequent, is technical difficulties. We had 4 games where someone is disconnected and unable to spectate and give good commentary. AJS got hit with it once.
I got hit with it 3 times. I don't know what happened. I troubleshot my Switch. I reinstalled Smash. I did everything I could. I looked up forums. I don't know what's going on, but I can only spectate games for about 2.5 minutes into the game, and then spectate just kind of says, nope, not for you. So unfortunately, I will no longer be able to commentate sets until this situation's resolved. But I know this league has a ton of great personalities, and we'll probably find someone else to be able to commentate matches.
Chai, we'll get you back in, Chai. I'll give Sakurai a call, and we'll figure this out on the back end. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll go to Japan. We'll knock on his door. We'll figure it out.
Great guy. I know him really well.
Real quick though, we do have one baddie moment, and I started to think of this. We had a YIF channel, and thankfully it's gone.
Wait, what? Where'd it go?
It was deleted. It was
What?
The YIF chat is gone, and this is good. This is for the best. However, although the channel is gone, the culture of YIF chat has permeated its way into our Twitch chat. I don't think that we need moderators for our Twitch chat, but G. Harris looked at Cac's name, which his Switch name is Captain Knots, and said, when I see the term knots, I can only think of it in a furry context. I ask all of you listening now to not look up knots in a furry context. It is not worth it. You do not want to know what it means. We'll leave it at that. But that...
What? Oh my god.
Joe, don't make me do it.
Just give me a second. I'm Googling something quick.
So, while Joey does exactly what I told him not to do, and perhaps shreds the last bit of innocence left inside that poor lad, I will show you the reason why his tag is called Captain Knots. I asked him about it. He also knows that he's also been informed before that is in fact something that is a little bit different than what he had intended for his tag, but it comes from a YouTube video. I will share a small clip of it here, and I will leave a link to the clip in the description below.
Yeah, right. This guy's a faggot. This guy's some sort of faggot Indian in the teepee. Ooh, this guy thinks he's Captain Knots. Thinks he's Captain tying knots. When everyone needs some knots tied, they go to him. Bullshit. Bullshit. This woman's such a bitch. Thinks she's Miss Sand. Drinking out of cups. Being a bitch. I bet her fist. I bet her fiddlesk. Burned. Patarskum patted a little kid in the background fucking going crazy. Who's this guy? Mr. Balloons. Mr. Balloon Hands. No way. No way. Get real. Like those things. Mr. Walkway. Mr. Walk Down Me, I'm the walkway. Lead me to the building. Fuck you.
You can Google it. Do not tell the chat. Do not tell our audience. If they want to go into that dark place, they can. But I'm not going to tell them.
You know, let's see what Bing brings up, right?
KNOTS.
That's the primary. That's the best search engine, right? Bing.
Oh yeah, that's the peak one, especially for this type of content.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we're not saying it. No, not on my podcast. I refuse. Stop! I'm going to cut this in post. I swear. I will cut this in post. So help me God.
Oh my god. Okay. Chai, I think you have to handle the rest of this. Just keep talking.
But that was the good, the bad, and the baddie. G. Harris, please try to keep those comments to yourself. But before we go on to an interview with our second place finalist in Baddy Smash Season 4, Candiejack, we are like to thank our sponsor, Bonk. Bonk is the Smash insurance, where you can make sure that all stage techs, wall bounces, and with our new premium, ceiling techs are all covered. You don't want to lose a stock in an embarrassing way, and very few embarrassing ways are as embarrassing as getting tech chased when you don't tech, hitting killed off the platform because he didn't tech, getting knocked into the depths of hell by getting stage spiked. And we have a new kid on the block. You can get somehow spiked by getting shot upwards if you bounce off the ceiling of Spring Stadium. Bonk is a revolutionary insurance powered by its R or L technologies. Both of them are fantastic and can fit your needs for any tech scenario. Again, we'd like to thank Bonk, the tech insurance, to keep your stocks intact. And now to our interview. Welcome back for our second interview. Today we have the Link Phenom, the Kirby Commander, Candiejack. No, it is not Candlejack, it is Candiejack. Welcome aboard.
Welcome. Good to be here.
Oh yeah,
All right.
man.
So right away, we got introduced to you last season, and you were a hit smash right off of going straight into the season. You came so close to greatness in season 4 with an SD ending in the worst way. A lot of us thought you had a good chance to beat KK. I still think you can probably beat him this season. But in between last season and this season, and as well as the bye week, what have you been doing to prep yourself for this season?
Not a whole lot until the past couple of weeks. I've been grinding with Moldzor. I've been trying to find more people to play with, but I definitely tried harder last season with going on to the Smash Discords and going into like the K Rule Discord and trying to figure out how to fight him and stuff.
Ooh, getting those early downloads, eh?
Yeah, no, K Rule's been a problem. So I went to the K Rule Discord and found a couple Bowser mains, the secondary K Rule, and I was like, this isn't practice.
All right, and then going off of that, that was your rookie season. Did you learn anything from that rookie season that you'll take advantage of now that you're a more seasoned player?
No. I tilt pretty easy and I try not to, and it's just I'm gonna try to stay calmer about it. That was my first time doing anything in the online format for Smash. So getting mad about lag and getting mad about getting your inputs eaten and stuff like that, I just need to let it be and calm down mostly.
Nice. Well, kind of moving off of that, thinking more in terms of the Division II talent, looking down. I mean, you're a rookie last season. You showed that you have a lot of talent in D1. We get all the bye weeks between all three of us, actually. Woot woot. But kind of looking at Division II, especially this first week, is there any talent that's kind of sticking out to you that you're afraid might give you a run for your money?
Cax, with his internet connection fixed, is going to be a problem. I played. He's like a friend of mine, and I went to his house for when I was at work one time because he lives a couple hours away, and I destroyed him and his roommate for several hours straight, and just absolutely not even close. Just had the best time of my life, just drinking and destroying two of my friends. But at the same time, the first time I ever played against him online was over a year ago. But he dunked me in the first 10 seconds as Olimar. He dunked me, and then he dunked me again, and I was up he was up 3 stocks to 1 right away, and then he disconnected because his internet does that. And then we started game 2, and the exact same thing happened. He dunked me twice right off the bat, and then he disconnected. And then we started our game 3, and because the other first day they just said redo him, and then we did a third one. He just destroyed me. So it's scary going 3-0 on him all night one time, and then getting just dunked on stream another time.
So was that those in-persons, were those done recently?
No, that was a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody right now. I am the most grounded person out of anybody with COVID going on.
COVID's still out, guys. Keep that in mind.
Absolutely doing nothing. Me and my wife hang out a whole bunch, and she's not sick of me yet. So.
Cool. So other than Cax, Head Reaver, Blaze, Lars.
I want to see Blaze play other characters. I think he's super terrifying on a bunch of other characters, and I've seen him do a bunch of stuff. I think his Incineroar is looking weak compared to the rest of his lineup. So if he starts mixing it up, that'll be a whole thing. Was it Afghan Bob that was playing Palutena?
Yes.
Yeah, he was moving. And Extra Fluffy, I feel like just got the worst start because he got the Wang treatment. Because like and sometimes there was times where I don't think I've like lost against him yet in friendlies because we've played a bunch. He's in the Baddy Smash Discord and he's playing games. But yeah, sometimes I just destroy him real quick, and then the most recent game I played against him went to last hit last stock, so he can do stuff. But yeah, if you just nobody plays Inkling, and then the people that do all play different, and Wang just rollering you over and over again. It's just that mindset, man, of like he couldn't possibly do it again.
Oh man, Wang's the game. Been said.
But yeah, Fluffy stands out. Afghan Bob stands out. Blazon, not Incineroar, stands out pretty good. Huckleton improved a bunch. Yeah, it's just good stuff. Also, Zed's on Bowser, right?
No, that's Lars.
Zed?
Lars is on Bowser. Yeah, but Lars was moving a whole bunch. He was moving a lot cleaner than last season already.
Nice.
So we saw improvement from the ones that you had mentioned. However, we did see some dips. We saw that from Birthday Boy Zed and the Commissioner AJS, whom most likely did not practice a bunch over the season. Do you have anything to say as a frequent grinder to the scrubs who didn't practice in the off season and let it show on stream?
With the games being more important this season, I think you should play characters that you're familiar with, not worry about matchups, because being good at a character you know how to play is so much better than being like average at a character that you think is a counter pick. I'm not convinced Zed's played a ton of Sephiroth, and I think he would just be more solid if he was doing something he's more familiar with. I know last season, especially you were on a character crisis, having a field day, changing every single game and every single set. And I think sticking to one or two is the way to go to try to make something happen.
No stronger words like get good, scrubs.
I mean, get good is always fun. If you want to go that route, go Google a kill confirm for your character and learn how to do that. And if you Google like 2 or 3 kill confirms for characters, if you can set them up, you're going to have a field day.
I should really do that, to be honest.
It's not bad. Like Palutena, yeah, she has down throw back air, but you have to reverse aerial rush the back air, IRAR it. It's not hard to do, but you're never going to do it on your own. You know what I mean? I wouldn't learn that by myself.
Gotcha.
Speaking of get good scrub, few people know this, but you're not only good at Smash, but you're pretty solid at Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm, and as you've recalled to me, you're a Dark Souls PvP god. Is there a common denominator in how you approach PvP games in general?
I kind of just read too much. So like in Dota, I could tell you what every single character does and how like each point of damage, every single thing does, every character's stat point, starting health, starting mana, every interaction between every single spell, even on characters that I don't play or I don't see very often. It's just, if I learn everything and then go from there to try to get the experience, a lot of people will play Smash, for instance, and they just play it, feel it out, and then from there maybe they'll go look up a guide or look up a thing. I know AJS was talking about that, how me and him learn complete opposites on how they're complete opposite takes on Smash characters. But I like to go look at every last detail and then make a decision from there on what I want to do next. So like in Dark Souls, I learned what every weapon in the game did before choosing what weapons I wanted to use. It wasn't a feel thing. It was what can I get done with these on paper before I can get a good feel for them all.
Damn.
You know,
That's
some
like
people... Go ahead, Albino Joe.
That's opposite of like what I do, man. I just play for feel. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's bad. In Dark Souls now, I'll beat you with anything. Like you can pick my weapons and you can pick your weapon and I'll destroy you. And that's from playing too much. But Dark Souls also has mechanics where like if you're just better than the other player, the fight will take longer. but you can just win. It's not camping. Like if I just parry every single thing you do, there's nothing you can do to touch me. So there's just a bunch of mechanics in that game to make it so you automatically win.
Well, gravitating back towards Smash a little bit here. So something character related. I personally love watching Palutena's play, especially in the Baddy League. And watching Afghan Bob play really filled my heart with joy, happiness. I was in on that. I love that. But when you watch like Huckleton play Link, what kind of feelings come to you when you see that? Do you like, are you just happy that someone's playing the character that you love, or do you have like other things going through your head?
I love watching Huckleton play. He plays very, 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 very different than me. He just plays like a grounded game, and he throws a lot more smashes than me, and he gets away with a lot of stuff that I don't think I would ever do. But just watching like him be brave in situations where it's like, oh my god, I would never do that, and then it just works out. It's just beautiful.
Oh man, kind of the same, because like when Afghan Bob, when he was playing Hard Kills, I think it was, he was just kind of he was almost playing the Ganondorf game where, Palu's F smash comes out just a little bit faster than Dorf, so he's just F smashing, up smashing like crazy.
Yeah, he was landing a million up smashes too. I remember that just being like, you can hit someone that high, and it's like, I know that, but who goes for that? And then he just nails it. Oh,
it's great.
Segueing on your admiration for Huckleton's Link, a thing that I just like about Link in general as a character is that unlike certain characters like a Samus or like especially a Duck Hunt, there are certain playstyles that are just locked into that character. You have to play that way. Whereas Link has a lot of different playstyles you can kind of gravitate towards as a player. There's some Links that prefer to camp a lot more, where there's others that are a bit more aggressive and use a lot of Nair, a lot of Z drops, and other aerials. I see you do a good mix of both, but how would you define your style of play? And do you think that is there a particular style of Link play is like the optimal Link?
So my style of Link is a variety, as you've seen, but it's not because I want to do a variety. I don't go into a game with a game plan of I'm going to camp this game or I'm going to just go rush them down this game. I basically adapt to what the other player let me get away with. Because some people are really good fighting camping, and some people are really good fighting rushdown, and some people, if you pressure their shield will just destroy you. So I try to figure out what they're capable of and what they're good at and what their weakness is. And I used to think it was like completely character dependent. Like you'd go, Greninja has no out of shield option, so I'll just rush his shield down. And it's like you play against a Greninja, and he's seen it 100 times, so he knows what to do appropriately. So it's not really about what a character can do. It's about like what a player can do, and then I have to adapt every single game because Link's not quite fast enough to just rush someone down, and his projectiles aren't quite good enough to just camp someone out. I have to mix it up the entire game.
The struggle sounds real, but you show the struggle and you turn it into that pressure into some diamond play with that Link.
Well, thank you.
But I think that's all the questions that we have right now. Albino Joe, do you have any follow-ups you want to add there?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, Candy, you know what time it is now. It is your time to give a shout-out to Baddy Smash Nation. If you want to call someone out, talk some trash, give some advice, or just say anything to make people understand you a bit better, now's your time. You get your soapbox right now.
I think I'll start off with calling out Albino Joe here. You're a thief. You took my doubles partner. That's not polite.
Oh, yoink! Sorry,
dude,
man.
I get back to me in 25 point whatever hours, and I'm like, I mean, that's fine. Is he deciding if he wants to play or not? He messages me later. Yeah, so I asked Albino Joe, and I'm like, oh wow, we're grand champions. This is how you treat me. I feel like I was the deadweight on the team, and he had to go find a new one to replace me. You know what I mean?
You got fat kidded.
I got fat kidded so hard.
I'm going to be deader weight than anyone in this league. Have you seen me play with Wang?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, you didn't because it was never fucking good. We weren't good enough to get a fucking win on anyone. I think we won one match last season.
Yeah, I guess I'm super dramatic. That's like I'm kind of monotone right now. I'm pretty chill. I've been talking about doing the videos this season because KK said he wasn't. He was too busy to. And I dove into it, and I knew it was going to be a ton of work, but it's more than I wanted it to be. so I'm kind of monotone right now, but I'm just very dramatic. Some people take that as bad. I just like overreacting to things. Like I get really, really hyped when someone gets a super sweet spike, and I get really beat up on myself for 5 minutes afterward. And I'm usually pretty chill in between those moments. But yeah, I just like being dramatic and getting really excited about Smash and just getting really excited about video games in general. Just getting really excited. Nothing in life's worth doing unless you can get mad about it. So that's my And then yeah, I think I'm just gonna go into Baddy Smash, do the best I can. Been getting, I don't know if psychology lessons is the right answer, but over my Smash career, people much younger than me are giving me advice on how to keep a clear head and stuff like that. And I think it's really important to remember that winning or losing a match doesn't mean you're better or worse than another person. It just means that like you did something cool in that moment, and that as long as you're trying to improve yourself and you take away from a game like what can I do better, or what did I do good, or like what could I do, anything like that. If your goal is to improve, then like winning or losing, or like SDing last stock against KK in grand finals, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I don't think KK is like a god player that I can never beat because he beat me last time. It's just something to improve upon.
For those of you at home, that is the mindset you want to go into as well if you're looking to improve, and that should be every single person in the league, whether you're the best or the worst.
Yeah, I don't always have that mindset, but I try real hard to.
Same. Well, Candiejack, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Watch out for him when we get to next stage of Swiss and when we get to the playoffs, because I have a very strong feeling this man has a good chance to win it all. In the meantime, though, this was Chai.
I'm Albino Joe.
This is Candiejack.
And thanks for watching.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Baddy Cafe.
The intro and outro music was produced by Headreaver, and this is a Baddy Smash production.